What we are going to do today is mostly sharing. I want this to happen more often actually. So that yeah, we basically use this session to learn. Let's see. Does anyone want to lead this meeting? Should be pretty simple. Moderating the discussion. Anyone feel challenged? No.
Nobody wants to.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. Lukman is smiling. Lukman or Rizky, do you guys want to try?
I'm not feeling challenged yet, Kak.
Okay.
Lokman.
Okay.
Adri, I think.
What what about
Bu
I
Adri.
challenge you? Okay. Let's see. Nadia, what should we do in this situation?
Mm, let's see. Don't want to volunteer or something? Anyone? I mean, let's try first. It's okay.
Mm, no.
Oh,
Okay.
Risky, you want to say something?
No, sorry. I just what's it called? I just recently finished my meeting with Kanadin, right? The pairing. So quickly catching up on what we're supposed to be doing this discussion. So
Okay.
yeah, that's why I'm really silent. I'm reading the Slack right now, and I'm reading our Dropbox paper. I'm not exactly uh sure on what to do, so I don't think I'm the best candidate to moderate this current Scrum. So maybe somebody with more knowledge might want to take up the stand.
Okay.
Okay then.
Let me do that, Kak.
Okay, Nadia, let's try to do that. Basically,
Okay.
before we start, probably just basically we are doing this to make it easier for you to learn public speaking and or like leading a meeting, right? It's very useful skill, especially if you're working in a project and you have the opportunity to get out of your head, because usually if you're working alone it's easy for you, but talking to different people requires a practice. Actually, it's not necessarily talent or skill, it's just a practice. If you are used to that, then it's very easy. And our format for the scrum is very flexible. We don't have strict format, we don't have any rundown or anything. We have a goal, right? So for today, the goal is to learn, to share, basically, and that's up to the moderator how to bring this the vibe, basically. So yeah, let's go ahead, Nadia.
Okay, thank you. So, hi, good apa sih nih? Good afternoon ya, everyone ya. So today we have a new discussion yeah brought from Kabayu. So it's regarding the what is it like knowledge sharing. So perhaps over to you, Ka, about this issue or this topic that you would like to brought up.
Okay. Okay, I will start that then. So
Yep.
basically, I see this problem is repeated. Probably not in this batch, but this is actually repeated with the previous interns or previous developer even, right? This is very simple rule in project development. That's wait. Let me see. I think. Oh, yeah. For everyone, I think it would be easier to read if you create. You can create your line, your separate
Yep.
line. I
Yep.
think it will be easier to read that. Yeah. We can do
Yep.
that while we are doing this. But let me see. So Nadia, can you zoom in a little bit to my
Yeah. This one,
topic
right?
right there? Yep. Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Wait.
You can just
Wait
pinch.
a minute. Wait. My screen froze. Okay.
Okay,
Wait.
and not this one. Basically, yeah, if you are using trackpad, you can pinch using two finger,
Yep. Yep.
and then you
Wait.
can.
Wait. It's frozen.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. So Basically, this is very simple rule in development, right? So detaching function that are too long from single file into multiple files. So before, this is when I'm developing milestone 49. So I saw like an old code basically for the guest details and guest edit. So it's everything is in one file basically for the page to edit a guest detail. And this is very difficult to read. As you can see, I'm scrolling and the code is very long. And there are function and sub-function in this file, right? So when I'm trying to debug this, it's very difficult, especially working with state and props in the component. It's very difficult to to track where is this props belongs to, right? So long code will with multiple function nested in main function. That's not beautiful. It's ugly. So what I did was to work on the more standardized like best practice basically. So I separate each function into one file for yeah one file one function. Like for example this one like on the screenshot. So the guest edit page, we can edit the picture, or we can edit the basic information, or we can edit the guest persona, right? So what I did was split that into another file that, and I put that in the another folder called guest list. That the second image at the bottom. So that basically is a function to only edit the picture because that's a picture section. And there's also a file for the guest edit basic info function. And the way we combine all of those different functions is just using the original file, the main file, but it's now much shorter. The file is much shorter because basically we are importing another file into this file, and all those multiple component can be loaded from the main file. So this is a very simple rule. It's not even technical in the coding itself. It's just the pattern of how we can develop something, and this can be implemented on multiple like any development project, any script basically. Like if you're working on Python script, for example, you can make your code very short and clear basically to you probably can also write the comment very descriptive, and then calling another function or importing another function from another file. You can also do that as well. So yeah, this is what I'm sharing. Back to Nadia then.
Okay, thank you, Kabayu, for that. So let's continue to the next one. I think I'm not sure who's sharing this one, yeah, under Kabayu sections. Is it Adri or is it Lukman? The one who's sharing about the data accuracy
Uh,
for number of
Hmm.
bedrooms?
Okay, Adri.
okay, so for our project, it actually is there are a couple of tables to be cleaned. So the first table, which is the property table, first I was focused on the duplicated property data. So what I did is I find the duplicated data, and I compare between the two to based on the updated data. So which data is the most updated one or the newest one, and then based on the property status, so the which data have which data is already a partner or not, and then it is also based on is the data connected to the listing or not. So after that I clean I clean the unit listing and partner table, and also I drop the property data that is which is duplicated. So basically, if we see basically from the before the before I clean it, there is a there is a double row, right? On the
Mm-hmm.
and after and after I clean it, after I query it again, the picture above returns zero row. So it means that it's already not duplicated, and I drop that duplicated data. And then for the second is the unit data. So the problem from the unit data is there is an inappropriate unit which is not representation of the real life units. And what we do to detect it is by comparing it to the airtable unit data. So if the unit doesn't match with doesn't match with the airtable data, then it means that that unit is the inappropriate one. And then back to Lukman.
Yeah. Actually, we already done about the property data and the duplicate property data and also the appropriate unit. And then the next action is we need to reconnect the relation between listing and the appropriate unit only. But in this case, we have a problem like we cannot change the relation automatically. So in this picture you can picture you can see that um, the query can change the relation manually per property. Since the amount of the property is quite large, like more than 100 if I'm not mistaken. So maybe we need to make it automatically. And for now we are trying to use Python in this Google Colab, but we still have a problem with that syntax. Yeah, and but actually we already make approach by using regex or binary like function, um, BR bedrooms, like the unit name which has BR name like for BR or to BR for bedroom or two bedroom is actually wrong. So this is the approach, but it's only return a half of the total data. So we still have to deal with the rest of the data. And the last one, we need to make sure that the property bedroom is actually the sum of the unit bedroom. So we just make a simple query. Yeah, but we still try to add the field, the column into the existing table or into the property table. And we still try to make it happen. And um, actually, the possible solution that can be executed by now is we combine or we join the table, and then we make a new table with maybe with the name like property clean or something. Maybe that's the possible solution that executed by now. And maybe you guys have any feedback or any helps for us to solve the problem. And by this afternoon, and at 4 p.m. with WIB, we will we will do pairing with Kak Vidi to maybe he can give another help about this problem. Yeah, I think that's all from me and Adri, Kak. Back to Kak Nadia.
Okay, thank you, Adrian Lukman. So it's actually an open session for everyone. So if you have any perhaps question or a solution perhaps for Adrian Lukman, feel free to speak up. Yeah. What about Kabayu? Do you have anything to say perhaps, Kak? Or Fidi? I
Mm,
see Fidi is here.
yep,
Yeah.
I think they're working on interesting problem. Ofidi, go ahead.
Yep, thank you very much. Apologies, I was just from MBKM meeting. For me myself, yeah, I thought about it before we will talk about the technicalities, but in summary, To accomplish this feat using SQL alone will be quite complicated. So what I will usually do to edit such relations is to connect to SQL servers using Python. So it's also possible. So we modify the relationship first with Python and then maybe update it to the SQL directly. Does it make sense to you, Lukman? Because in Python you'll be able to be more flexible.
So that means we directly connected to the server,
Yes.
or we download we export the table first and then we change it in collab, or
Oh yeah, it depends. You can actually use your local database first, eh? Or if you want to try it, you can use a no lah. Don't use the development database. Just connect it to your local server first lah. Yeah, that works. So yeah, it will
Okay,
be
thank
more
you, Kak
flexible to
Vidi.
use Python.
Okay. I think that would be easier if you're using Collab. Actually, you can just work on CSV, right? And then you
Yep,
have
correct.
multiple tables on CSV.
Oh yeah. That works as well.
Yeah, it will be much easier actually to work on Python, especially if,
Yep.
if your data is just like this table, multiple table, and then the end result would be uh, the output is the end result of the table that you've created from the Python script, right? And then
Can be, Kak. But what I would do is to not like replace the entire table itself, but update it with Python also.
oh, do you mean the table structure or the content?
No, the content. So it's not like I prepare. So it's not like we replace the entire table, but we do modification. But are you willing to uh, replace everything or just update? This is to Kabayo actually, because this will be
Oh, to
implemented in
me.
production, right? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I meant before. So I think what we can do is uh, we don't do the update in place. So it means that we extract the data, we process it, we clean it,
Yep.
and then output to the a new table, new set of table that already cleaned, and
Yep.
then we'll use this clean data and move that into the production.
Ah, I see. But in that case, this solution will not be the same as the solution, for example, like the one that Arda built, a script that can clean things quicker, right? Just a script to clean things. So this if we implement like that, we'll always replace the table, the entire table, right?
It depends on the confidence actually, right? If
Yeah, correct.
confidence with the script, then yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
Arda's work is pretty straightforward because
yep,
it's cleaning up
yeah,
specific column, right? And then
yep.
yeah, it's in place also fine.
Yeah, the first, like the most optimal. So I don't know whether we want to find the quick fix or optimal solution, but the optimal solution would be to update or delete depending on the content of the data itself, not just replace the entire table. See the content of the table. In your solution, it's like more like okay, we construct from the existing table into a table that is already correct, and then we replace everything, right? But in this case, what I will suggest, because Python has the capability to connect directly to SQL, we can update or delete just according to the needs of the current table, the table itself. It will be quicker as well for the process, I think. But let's explore. But the main solution is to use Python because it will be more flexible. The query that you use here can actually be converted or maybe executed directly as a raw query in Python as well. So yeah.
I see. Thank you, Vidi, for the feedbacks. Is
Yep.
there anything else from everyone?
From
Perhaps Ada.
Adri or maybe Lukman's actually. Do you get what we just discussed, or is it not clear? And we will discuss later on.
so if I'm right, basically it's to update. It's only if I'm right. So basically, it's just update the table or entirely replace the table.
Yeah, so that's the two options that we have. But then the point is using Python, right? Mm. Correct,
Yeah,
correct.
but maybe we still try to think like how about the technical sih kak, technical in Pythonnya
Yep. Let's
seperti
discuss
apa
later on
gitu.
the technicals. Yeah, but the main point you get it right.
Ya.
Okay, maybe
Okay.
a suggestion from others. Instead of using Python, maybe there are other alternatives. Back to Nadia.
Okay, thank you, Vidi. Okay, is there any suggestions perhaps from others? Perhaps Arda,
Uh,
to Arda.
from my experience, SQL Alchemy is working very good sih, for connecting Python to the database. So you can use SQL Alchemy to do it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, please take notes on that, yeah. Perhaps you can write it here on the paper as well, Lukman or Adri. Okay, move forward. I see Risky here. So please, S2 and Roberts, please write your, what is that, your sharing knowledge as well in here. Okay, let's move to Risky. To, please, your time.
All right. Thank you, Ka. So, as mentioned before, my current project is to onboard as a dummy partner in order to find potential improvements that can be made further to inspire the light. You could say. Right now, the before I would explain is the our main bottleneck that I've identified so far is the long, tedious, and often confusing process for a partner to approach the BV website and actually become a partner. I chalked down. There are multiple reasons, but I chalked them to three main ones that I've discussed, which is mainly the website layout, multiple segments that does the same function, and consultation requests that ultimately leads to Slack channels that are underused because it's filled with spam. So the picture I've shown to demonstrate my point actually is yeah, in the old web page you could see that one you can request a consultation via WhatsApp chat, Calendly, and vice versa. But then underneath that is another request free consultation. Those ultimately do the same thing, right? And that's a point of confusion for partners. So yeah, luckily that's been fixed thanks to Ka Nadia and the marketing team. The new web page is much better. It has a call to action, and it's much more clear for any potential users that want to become partners to actually figure it out. And on top of that, I've actually there's just based on my most recent meeting with Nadine, she also expressed a problem with this web page, so I'm glad that it's been solved. The second problem that's just brought forward by Nadine is how data is processed through Airtable and then ultimately through Bigger. She expressed an issue with double data entry in Airtable and then in Bigger. She requests some sort of automation if it's possible, because what she expressed is Airtable is right now is for the whole journey, right? But Bigger is for our just final partners. But because some of those things overlap, she was wondering if those data could be brought to Bigger. The reasons for it is that it could eliminate possible redundancy and eliminate possible mistakes when re-entering the data. Also, just the overhead time that could be saved by having it automated instead of the same person re-inputting the data is another strong point. And yeah, I'd like that. Those are all the problems that I've gathered so far. I'll definitely document more as it comes along. But yeah, any opinions from you guys would definitely be appreciated.
Okay, thank you, Risky. So to the floor for everybody, is there any questions or feedback?
Yeah.
Let me pick someone. Okay,
Yeah.
Kabayu.
Okay. Okay. I think this is a great finding, Risky. Basically, wait. Give me 2 seconds. Just to make it easier for discussion, right? So we can write down the discussion on the middle column. Okay, I move the discussion up, yeah. Okay.
That's one.
Okay, so easy, it's
Okay.
easier to see right now. Okay. Okay, so I think what the Risky found out is actually, yeah, true, because the yeah, currently the process is disconnected between BD and then community in terms of
Mm-hmm.
the platform that we use with Airtable and also Bigger. The Airtable actually serve the exact purpose of this. So usually when we develop something on Bigger, previously at least, we just develop something because we assume that the user will find this feature useful, right? But we don't want to waste our time to develop something that looks like Airtable, and just to find out that later the user will never use it, right? So we try to use Airtable for now and see how the user will actually use it. And now I think we have already the pattern that actually BD already using that in pretty smart way, right, to manage each different data. Now we know what they want. So the next step is that we need to develop that in bigger, just to replace Airtable, because we know that it's already proven Airtable have some factor that the user like to use it, and there's also some limitation. So we can also tackle those limitation on Airtable by developing it on bigger, and especially on basically what Airtable is just a table, right? It's very it's relatively easy to recreate on bigger. It's table, it's edit and insert a CRUD, basically simple CRUD, and the data structure also pretty simple. There's no complicated rules. Then yeah, we can from this finding we can definitely move the Airtable content and workflow into bigger, like what we are doing with probably the journaling. We are working with finance with the journaling. We try to move the journaling from zero uh, to bigger. Zero is a paid service for accounting, and their feature is accounting. And we found out that the accounting needs that we require actually can be developed and just apa ya namanya, it's nyontek, right? So just amati tiru modifikasi, right? So that's what we can do here to innovate. Yeah, I think that's very good, Rizky. Maybe to the others.
Okay, to the others, what do you guys think? Who haven't talked here? I Stu, what do you think?
Yeah. No from me for now.
What do you think from the Risky's sharing knowledge here? Is there anything that you would like to point out or questions perhaps?
No.
Okay. Okay then. Over to Robert. What do you think? Risky here.
Well, I think I just want to ask, usually how long is the onboarding process?
Hi, Robert. Sorry, can you repeat that question? I didn't hear the first part.
Onboarding prosesnya itu berapa lama biasanya?
So on average, it's around 3 weeks. But now that I actually have the Airtable from Kakela, I'm gonna go ahead and analyze that for a definite timeline. I'm going to look at the previous 10 partners and then find out an average of how long the partner onboarding journey is. But for now, let's just say around 3 weeks is the norm.
Oke.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Risky. What about the others? Lukman, Adra, or Fidi perhaps?
Hey, from me. Yeah, I think just like what Kabe mentioned, it's a great finding. And good question from Robert to measure the um, preparation, like the total duration, so that maybe in next iteration we can always compare
Mhm.
the new system's duration compared to the old system. Uh, in this case, it's more like a systematic, not really like system in tech system, but it's also regarding the workflow of other chapters as well. I think this is actually a good example of project on how PD can also debug not only technical stuff but also using the paradigm that we have in product development, because we are used to creating efficient system, right? We can actually and this is what I want to share actually. it may seem obvious to you guys, like on what are efficient and not or not. But a lot of time when you see clients and their system, they do not realize that they have problems, right? So that's and you can also share what you think is more efficient on what part of the form is actually apa what part of the form is actually required, which one needs to be added, so that maybe in the partner point of view, in the experience of the partner, they are not asked multiple time. I think this also related to the problem that we have in the onboarding program, well, where the partner already answer one thing and asked by multiple people at the same time. So this causes like anxiousness of partners trust to BV as well. And regarding spam, mm, yeah, I think we already have ASCII right? But it's not activated yet, or it's not working, yet, Nadia. Yeah.
Yep.
Which
Not
one?
activated anymore.
Not working?
Not working.
Yeah. Mm, one way is to find the correct plugin. I'm sure there's a lot of plugins, but also if this is my principle, if there is easy way, I will try to do easy way first, like plugins or maybe simple solution. But if it doesn't work, then we will go to post processing.
Yep.
Yeah, and we know that the connection.
Actually,
Yes.
yeah, sorry, I just want to add to that. The main bottleneck that I found, right, with all these multiple segments doing the same thing, I think it's as a result of the old BV website. There used to be one solution, right, create a free consultation. But
Yep.
as time progressed and people had new ideas, they're like, okay, how about we implement a Calendly solution and a WhatsApp call solution? So that solution was implemented on top of the old solution. So both solution exists that does the same thing, and that's where the main bottleneck comes from. And then the next person, how about a chatbot solution? So the chatbot get added to the website, right? So that's three things that's three approaches
Different
that
way
does the
to
same
input. Yeah.
thing. Yeah, and it ultimately goes to BD, and then that's where the bottleneck comes from. So I think we need to narrow down our solution. So if we focus on Calendly, then that's the main focus to Calendly.
Mm.
The chatbot should be second, and that just needs to be focused more so
I
that it doesn't cause any bottleneck.
For that one, it's a bit tricky, yeah, because we provide a lot of alternative solutions to capture the most of the market. Because some people they do not understand Calendly, but maybe younger generations will prefer entering Calendly as opposed to WhatsApp contact, while older clients will prefer to use WhatsApp as opposed to entering it themselves. So it's to capture multiple audience lah. But I think the most important one is actually where the end data is coming to. So I've implemented this in a lot of my solutions where okay, we have a lot of different inputs, maybe from the three different user funnels, but at the end result that the system see is similar or in one place. So a lot of source and in one place. So this is part of data engineering. But we have to still provide. That's why a lot of even in applications you can log in with Apple, with Google, and maybe even with Facebook and other things, right? But then if we dissect the backend process itself, login solution in the system wise, it will look the same, something like that, and then we translate it to the non-text system. How can we have multiple different sources but end up in one place, in the same one place, so that they do not have to monitor multiple things at the same time? And even better, automatically goes to bigger as well.
I see. I definitely agree with you on that point. You know, more routes is better,
Yep.
but it'll only be better if those routes are consistent, right?
Yep.
So
Correct.
let me bring forward the chatbot specifically. That plugin through my live chat is only consistent if there is a current BD member that just happens to open the chatbot at the same time that the chat is sent.
Yep.
If the person's not there, then that chatbot is not there's that chatbot's not received, and therefore a potential partner lost, right?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And yeah,
No, no,
It,
no.
it is sent to offline message
Yeah,
it
it
is.
was
Yeah,
sent.
and it's
So
followed
it's
up.
still working.
Yeah.
yeah. But the way Kayla mentioned it was that it's just less emphasis or less priority is placed on that, and they've mostly placed priority on the canvassing side of things.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So that's actually yeah the chapter.
I
Also something related to the chapter, right?
yeah,
I have a theory here. I
Yeah.
think this is I have a link that could help you, Risky. So we have this diagram, right, for partner journey.
Yep.
The problem is it's outdated. When we decide to use Airtable, we didn't update this diagram. So the initial way is the initial plan actually on using this diagram is that every channel will end up in the filling the form, right? It's like this. So, oh yeah, double share now. Okay. So everything here will be evaluated in the page manage my property, and then everyone will fill the form, no matter where they're coming from, right? And then I think the one that you mentioned is that recently now there's another thing here, like Calendly. There's a chat and different things, and that all of those addition it should be put here, and it will insert into leads Trello, right, which is now Airtable. So we need to I think make sure that everyone understand this. Whenever you create a new campaign, a new way of partners contacting us, it should be apa sih namanya converge into one record basically. So not to be confused. And I think if you are trying to fix this risky, you can bring this up again to the BD and also community, because we spend a lot of time discussing about this. This is actually very long process of how the partners are actually onboarded, including creating WhatsApp group, pricing, and different things, right? But I'm not sure is this still being implemented or not. One thing that I'm sure of about this is that this is not updated with the current practice, so we don't know which one is true. And that's also related to another one, which is the guidelines. We don't have those diagram about partner onboarding in the partnership funnel guideline. So probably that's why people are lost. So that could be uh, your resource, Risky, in trying to solve this problem.
sure. Yeah, thank you. I'll definitely look more into this diagram and then definitely research further. Yeah,
Back to Nadia. You're on mute.
Oh, sorry everyone, my screen was frozen. Okay, thank you Kabayo and also everyone. Is there any more follow-up questions perhaps to Risky? No. Yeah, okay, so let's move forward to the next person. Here we have Robert. Please, your turn, Robert.
Okay, so last week after finishing the Unitype form, did some thinking, and basically I came up that the workflow was inefficient. Me and Chris was changing the data structure for the backend every 1 or 2 days. So most of the time I've I worked on it, I was just wasting my time because I was reworking the code that I already made. So I think the possible solution is just to simply if a task is operated more than by one person, so a front end and back end developer, they should work together first to finish the back end until the data structure in the PRD doesn't need any more change, like at all, and then and only then should the front end be worked on.
So this is your suggesting, yeah, Robert.
Yes.
Okay, what do you think, Vidi?
Yeah, this is very interesting actually. Nadia, actually, I want to hear from Nadia first. Nadia, what do you think about this? There is always a back and forth between
Um,
the code fixing in back end and front end.
yeah, there's actually always our problem whenever we work for like a bigger project, for example.
Yep.
Like, I mean, yeah, that's why we're like agile, right? So there's always changing every now and then.
Yeah,
So yeah.
and do you remember what is actually the core issue on why we have to change PE and FE?
Usually it was because what is it like? The user needs and also the current implementation that we have, it's different. So that's actually kind of like the backlog.
Okay, user needs, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, in bigger companies, this is resolved through having the correct PRD first, and then second, also providing. I think we don't do this anymore in the back end usually, but we usually will include the sample response, kan ya?
Yep.
Yes, and having the sample response. Do you receive a sample response, Robert, for example, from Chris?
Uh, it's the same, but it always changes.
Because the user demand changes.
Um, mm, because Chris wanted it to change.
Okay.
Buat
Yeah.
kadang-kadang Chris perlu sesuatu,
Okay.
kadang-kadang saya perlu sesuatu, jadinya ya nego gitu.
That's interesting. Berarti yeah, it's about the planning itself sih.
Iya.
If uh this one is like a trade-off. If we plan too long, it will become cold. But then if we do like execute directly, there will be a lot of change in development. See.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a trade-off. And we always go back and forth with this actually, Kabayo.
Yep.
Yep, and I think that's not a healthy practice. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I think I always encourage to have it's called the release train, right, on Spotify, engineering culture. So whatever whatever you have, we release it. Basically, it's basically a way to to have a commitment in the development. So if there's a designer, product owner, and then developer has agree with the how the product looks like, doesn't matter what you think during development, you need to deliver it according to the
According to the
design
design.
first,
Yeah.
right? And then after you
Yep.
finish the development and according to the design, you will continue with the iteration. You
Patch.
will. I think we have that diagram, right? The circular thing. So
Yep.
uh,
Yep.
it's not being iterated because you have an idea in the development before doing the development, right? But it will be changed if you finish the
Mm-hmm.
development, and then let's say the user or the product owner see that this product can be improved, then we will try to go back to the design and then redesign it again. Not changing because I think it will be easier to develop that thing, that kind of thing. Basically, we will never finish if we always do that because the code will never perfect, right?
Yeah. So the point is, I think, Robert, like from my experience and maybe Kabaya's experience and also the others' experience, uh, sometimes code is like very hard to perfect, and that's why we have to honor the initial design and ideation, see, so that there are no sudden change. If there are no sudden change, will this problem still occur? You think, Robert?
I think kalau yang buat ini, the problem was also just like because the PRD wasn't actually finished.
Okay, ya itu. Ya,
Yeah. Did you read the PRD though? The PRD was
Iya,
attached in the code.
yep, but it wasn't
Please.
finished.
Okay.
Hmm.
Nah, ini makanya kan, that's why we mentioned that the core issue is actually the planning stage itself. If we
Mhm.
want to like make a very comprehensive PRD, the development will be delayed. But then if it's like partially complete, the development will stutter sometimes. This is a problem that we face again and again, see. And Yeah. Do you guys still have like the discussion between? Oh, I'm talking as if I don't know anymore. Do you guys still have like the discussion between developers and also product owners when discussing the before you guys start the development? Still have, right? Right, Nadia?
Yep, yep, we
Yeah.
still do.
I think bagian situ ya sih bisa di like if you the developers like really think about it and there are still changes in the PRD, we can like not start the development first and do other things first as opposed to like just start the development directly so that the PRD can be complete both from the agreeing party, the PO, and also the developer. Because if the developer already say yes and then suddenly they realize that there is something that needs to be changed in the PRD itself, but previously you already agree something like that. Kan udah kontraknya dari dua
Yeah,
arah,
yeah.
dari
Mhm.
developer
Yep,
dan
yep.
juga dari PO.
I think the problem is because this actually like kind of like a leftover project from the previous milestone. So and also Robert just come during the, I mean like the half of the project. So that's probably the cause. So yeah, we'll take notes on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but interesting topic actually, Robert. This is actually a very core issue. That maybe if we can fix this, this will level up lah. PD level up. Gitu. If we can actually fix this.
This is actually related to one of our core value, Robert, and any other intern actually. Step on toes, right? So if you don't understand about whatever is everyone is doing or asking you to do, just say that, right? Hey, your PRD is not clear. Please give me more information. Nanti ya.
Mhm.
Nggak perlu ada apa namanya nggak enak or apa namanya pura-pura oke, pura-pura it will be fine. It's not healthy, right? So if you think that the description or the PRD is not clear or the design is not clear, just say it, right? Hey, this is not clear. Let's finish this first before we actually commit our effort. Itu sih.
Mhm.
And most of the time we have that problem. That's why there's a discussion need to be happen before the development, right? The designer kadang-kadang mereka kelupaan sesuatu atau ada di development plan-nya kelupaan sesuatu. It's yeah, almost all project have those kind of problems. So kalau diem aja, then no one will get any better, and the plan will not get any better. So you can help actually by saying something like this that the PRD is not finished. Okay, that let's finish it first before we continue the development. Okay, so what do you think we should do? Should we try to apa namanya clarify the PRD again for the project that you are currently working on?
Mm, I think I actually messaged you, Kak Bayu. I wanted to get access for the bigger backend repo. That
Mhm.
way I can have better scope of what it's doing in the backend. So if I have recommendation atau saran atau sesuatu bisa lebih gampang.
Hmm. Okay, that could also be done. Tapi tetap aja ya nanti nggak healthy ya. So karena
Iya.
karena nanti out of sync gitu. Karena kamu
Hmm.
ngelihat terus si developernya, backend developernya nanti ganti lagi. So there will be apa namanya miscoordination gitu. I think what we can do is we can do like a short pairing, Robert. Jadi antara kamu, Chris, sama mungkin Nadia gitu kan. Nadia kan yang bikin desainnya. That will be very apa namanya clarifying karena desainernya akan bisa jelasin, terus Chris juga bisa jelasin apa yang mau dia lakuin. Jadi kamu paham juga, oh ternyata intentionnya kayak gini. Jadi aku harus ngapain gitu.
Oke. Hmm.
Okay, let's go to the last one ya, from S2 ya. Nadia kayaknya hilang nih koneksinya. Let's see.
Iya,
Vidi bisa bantu ini nggak?
oke.
Share nggak?
Apa share screen kah?
Eh,
Ada yang bisa bantu share nggak? Share screen.
Aku bisa
Okay,
share.
bisa screen. Oh, coffee.
Yap.
Okay. From me, actually, I've no sharing idea for now, because I'm not in project, and I still wait for the Canada to assign me to a project. And what I do in last meet, I have meet with Robert and Chris this day, and I suggest Robert to use drop zone framework to make an input image more better UX than an ordinary input, because it can use for the drag and drop input as an front end. So just that for me. Do you have any suggestion for my uh, what is called, for me that I'm not working on any project for now, because I'm just reading my novice campaign just like that and doing nothing for project.
Okay, I think S2. Did Chris give you any task on the novice campaign?
There is no task in my novice campaign. Last meet with Kak Nadia is she will assign me to a project, but until now I think Canada is busy for 2 days,
Hmm.
yesterday and now,
Okay.
and she still not do a pairing with me short meet.
Okay. Here's my suggestion. I don't suggest that you are go directly to project, especially if you're still wondering what to do, right? So I suggest that you do task first. Let me see. Let S2 and then checklist. So what I will do is I will create a list of tasks that you can work on. Why this is important? This is basically to get you familiarized with the development pattern, with the code structure, everything that you will need during the development. So, if you're going to start working on a project, you will know nothing about the project because you never touch the code, you never touch the goal of what the code is doing or what the feature is doing, right? So I suggest that you will spend the next maybe 1 or 2 weeks on working on things like Robert's project is interesting. Robert's project is basically removing all of the warnings, right? In front end, in front end, there's a lot of warnings because of the outdated packages that we use. There's a bad practice in writing front end code, things like that, right? And then it's not a very difficult task, but it will require you to read all of the code basically to be able to debug these warnings and errors. You need to read the code, what package it use, what function it use, how does each function relate to another, and then what kind of development pattern that we implement. And after that, you when you work on a project, you will know already, oh, I saw this already, I read about this already, so now I'm ready to modify it. So that's my suggestion. So probably to help you with that, to help you with getting familiar with the code, I will add a few tasks on your novice campaign card. Yeah, and then
Okay,
we can do also some pairing if you need uh, lesson information. So you can also schedule for pairing.
okay. Thank you for the suggestion for me, Kabayu.
Okay, I guess Nadia is back now. No, nggak ya kayaknya ya. Okay, then. Is there any other suggestion, probably from any other people for S2 or comments?
All good from me sih.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but it's good that you already try to like find things that you can suggest also, and maybe also if there is bug fix, it will take less time to initialize usually. Uh, yeah, bug fix there's no PRD and all that stuff, right? So you just usually fix the bug.
Yep.
That's what I usually do.
Yeah. Bug fixing, debugging,
Okay.
it's very good project to get you
Practice.
familiar with the code
Mm.
actually. Okay. I guess Nadia is not coming back, so let's finish this session then. Thank you everyone for sharing the knowledge. I hope that from this we can learn something and implement it to our next action. Let's see. Let's try to score this format, this Scrum today. Please give a thumbs up or thumbs down on the chat to see how many people actually like this format and how many don't like. And remember, it's free. It's you can also thumbs down, and that's okay. Okay, that's good. That's home run basically. Everyone likes it. Okay. Nadia, should we finish this session?
Yeah, sorry, there was a sudden power outage going on. So yeah, so I think that's it, yeah, for our discussion, sharing knowledge today, and also we also over the time for 3 minutes. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for coming for today PD Scrum, and see you soon. Bye bye.
Sure.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.